Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Farming Simulator 22 as we continue our bacon and eggs run here on Elm Creek. And just picking up some more straw to drop off. Get this unloaded real quick. We also have our harvester over here harvesting up our canola. And get that done. This guy's sitting here, not a lot to do, so we'll turn him off for the moment. Decent amount of straw off this field, so that's good. I mean, granted, again, I keep saying it, but we're a long ways away from having all the pigs we're going to have once this is all said and done. But as of right now, we are well over the capacities that we need for the current amount of pigs, and so we should be good to stockpile for quite some time. It's nice seeing our field starting to kind of grow out and be a bit more kind of the process or the pattern that we're looking for. We can look out and see all the different crops that we want to grow. I don't know, feels good. I like it. Although I think I might make a few edits too, and I think I briefly hinted on this in the last episode, but there's a few edits that I'm thinking about making, and we'll get into that here in just a moment. Once I get a chance to clear this up, and we'll go take a look at kind of the state of the field, stuff like that. Partly because, as we discovered at the end of last episode, we are making quite a bit more crop than I originally speculated. I thought there was a chance we would, because I couldn't remember if the spreadsheet I was looking at took before or after, yield improvements into account. And it's before yield improvements are taken account for, so effectively we're close to double what I had originally planned for. So the original set of fields could support 108 pigs-ish. Some variance in there because of the ages and how younger pigs don't eat as much as the older pigs, things like that. But so we could almost double that, right? We could make, for all intents and purposes, we could double that. And so one thing we could do is definitely throw another pig pen down there and start filling that up. And we might still do that. But the other thing I want to do, and the whole point of this series is, truth be told, okay, here, if this bothers you, then you might want to just bail now. I'm not going to lie. The whole point of this series is I don't care about the money. The money is not the point. I don't care how much debt we go into because it's not about the money with regards to this save. The point of this save was just to have fun with big equipment. And in order to have big equipment, you got to have lots of money, right? I could have started from very, very small fields and worked my way up, but then it would have been like 3 years from now, like in my life, in real time, before I had good equipment. A little bit of exaggeration, but it would have taken us a long time to get there. So I decided to kind of skip ahead and just get the big equipment now and take all the loan we need and get the big equipment now. No big worry. If we can pay off that loan, all the better. That's amazing. And I know we can. Asterisk there. I absolutely know that you can pay off a $4 million loan, brand new game. Because I've done that before. I actually, in my multiplayer save, I think we went close to $5 million in loan. And within like 10 years, we had like $20 million positive with no loan. Because we just went crazy and everything went perfectly. Difference there is that we were running cows primarily with dairy and stuff like that. Pigs, I don't know. I know you can do it with cows. I don't know if you can do it with pigs. We'll find out together, I guess. But So I'm not worried about the loan personally. If it loan bothers you guys, I promise you this is not the series for you and you should just bail. But if you just like enjoying watching big equipment, you know, doing stuff, you know, kind of the nice equipment, yeah, stick around. Because that's the whole point of this save, is to have fun with some of this larger equipment that we don't normally get to see if we start doing an actual true, you know, start from scratch run. Because, you know, it has its place. Can also be a little bit boring, in my opinion, at times. So depends on what kind of game you're looking for. And in this case, in this particular save, I'm looking for more fun than work. I have a job. I don't need work when I play this game. I want to have fun playing this game. So that's kind of where I'm at there. If I was doing this on my own time, I probably would still do the start from scratch stuff like that. Because on my own time, it doesn't matter how long it takes me. But for the sake of a YouTube and pacing and stuff like that, I wanted to kind of skip ahead. So that's the reasoning there. But part of that is of having fun is, honestly, I don't care if it's the most efficient thing in the world. The most efficient, I've talked about this before, is to do corn for our base, barley for our grains, canola, which we're doing right here, for our protein, and then finally sugar beets for the root crop. The only one on here that I think I'm going to keep is the sugar beets for the root crop, because I don't really like either sugar beets or potatoes. They're basically the same process, so there's not really much difference there in the grand scheme of things. So I'm probably just going to keep sugar beets because it's such a small amount that we need. In fact, we might not need to grow sugar beets for a very long time anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But some of these other ones, I kind of want to do all of them, because that's the point of me doing pigs, because I get to have a huge variety of crops and it all works. So one of the things that I think I'm going to do is that I'm going to start splitting up my corn fields and do sorghum on some of them. For my wheat field, I'm going to cut it in half. Or for my barley field, I should say, I'm going to cut it in half, and I'm going to do wheat on half of it. And you'll see that here in just a moment. And then for this canola stuff that we're here, we're going to find a way to split this up to do canola, soybeans, and sunflowers, just because I want to do a variety, because I can at the end of the day. Like it's kind of the direction that I want to go with this save. So we're going to try and do a variety here, if at all possible, and see where that takes us. So let me get you hooked up to a trailer, because we're about to have to unload that canola. So I'm hoping that kind of you guys understand the vibe I'm going for. It's just to have fun doing a variety of different crops and see, just really, honestly, the day that I can look out over this field, this set of fields, and just see, like, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 different crops just scattered about here. I don't know. I think that's going to look pretty cool, in my opinion. I still do want to do the second pigs, and we still probably will find a way to go ahead and get that set up. But large fields with just variety of crops just feels like fun to me, and hopefully you guys agree as well. So we'll get the last of this canola cleaned up here. So that does mean, even though I've just joined all these fields together, I'm going to have to split them up again. I'll try to split them up somewhat evenly. We'll figure it out here in a moment. But the big one we can go ahead and split up now is the wheat field, I suppose, because we do know, I'm not gonna lie, this thing is tempting. If it had fertilizer, I would definitely be very tempted to pick that up. But since it doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. We want to come over here, and we want to go construction, and we want to come over here. And I want to figure out the best way to split up this field. Now, the most efficient way would just be split it down this way. Efficient from a harvester standpoint, because then the harvesters only have to make like 2 passes and they're done. Because they can go up one and then turn around, come back the other. But most likely, I'm probably just going to split it right down the middle here. Ish. It doesn't have to be perfect down the middle. Whichever side ends up being a little bit bigger, we'll probably put the barley, the barley on that side, because it's slightly more efficient. But I still want some split here somewhere. I mean, I could split it right there, right on the road. And still have like a nice little size of wheat down here and a big chunk of barley up there. And that actually might not be too bad. It would make it a little bit easier to kind of scooch along here. It's actually not the worst idea. It's not a huge wheat field, but it's not the point. The point is just to have a variety and just have fun with it. So that might actually work. If I were to come over here and go to landscaping, and we come over here to painting, and we come over here to grass, I mean, I want it to be basically the width there. I really wish I could find a snapping tool for the painting, and maybe there is one and I just blind as a bat and can't find it. Do I want it to be a little bit smaller? Let's see. No, I mean, I kind of want it to be the same width as what's up there. So we're going to go ahead and just try and split this here. If I screw up, well, then I guess we'll have to go get us another plow to fix it. But hopefully I can get this pretty precise all the way across. And yes, we are using up some field to do this. We're losing some field space. I get that. I can find ways to expand our fields a little bit more if I want to. But we know we're getting more crops than our current set of pigs need. So anything above our current set of pigs is just icing on the cake as far as just overall productivity. So I'm okay with it, I think. Okay, one more. Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, I wish I could get a road through here, make it look really cool. Because I do still technically have this stuff over here if I want to try and flatten some of this out and put a field or some field space over on this side of things, or this side of the road. That's always an option, but we're not going to worry about that right now. All right, so that's going to be okay. Now, I do want to go ahead and, if at all possible, let's come up here and get you emptied out, my friend. Why are you not emptying? Am I really in the wrong spot? I guess I was. Okay, so you're getting emptied out. Let's come back in here and go to construction. Go to landscaping, go to plants, and we want to go to meadow. So over here where we were at, I want to go ahead and put down a meadow because this flat grass, painted grass just looks really bad in my opinion. So I want to kind of, if at all possible, if I can do this very carefully, get this to look halfway decent here. It's going to overlap a smidge, I think. Just want it to look better than just flat painted ugly grass. Truth be told, the meadow is not perfect. It's not quite exactly what I'm looking for, but it's better than nothing. No, I guess this meadow's over here on the side too. So I guess this is right. There. All right. I kind of like it. Two fields now. Not too bad. So we'll have this one, the big one up here, be barley. The smaller one to be wheat. Again, mostly just because I want to have variety, and that's really the only reason. We will then go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and finish joining up this field, and then we'll find a way to split it into thirds. And so 1/3 will be the canola, 1/3 will be soybeans, and 1/3 will be sunflowers. And then as far as the corn, probably probably make these two fields the cornfields, and maybe just make this one sorghum. Again, I don't have to like, it doesn't have to be a lot, just enough to make it like recognize that it is a variety there, you know, something different and new and cool there. So I think that's gonna be the plan. Let's get you put away, sir. Oh, you actually didn't clean up this little bit here, so let's actually take care of this. All 12 liters of it. I mean, can't miss out on 12 liters. All right, done. Let's get you parked off to the side. Suppose if I go ahead and get the other pigs now, they can start growing and reproducing, which would be good. So that might be a really good idea to go ahead and get set up. You are going to go ahead and drop this off into our silo. Okay, what's next? How do we want our pigs laid out? I mean, probably... In fact, I can go ahead and look at that. Let me... Have a little bit more money here, and let's... it's actually probably more than that, isn't it? Let's make sure I have enough money for the piggy thing. And as soon as we get our sorghum, I'm going to go ahead and get our chickens down as well. I think I talked about that already. So if we come over here to the pigs, and we come over here to this 108 one. I mean, I could have done a 270. Technically, I could still find a way to sell this one and get the 270, but that's not that's fine. I think it's okay to have a couple small ones and run with this. I mean, I could put it here and just kind of separate it a little bit from that one so we can still get to the manure. I could also just flip it around and have them face each other. That actually might not be too bad. Out of curiosity, what does this one look like? I mean, this one is pretty cool. I mean, it's massive comparatively. Suppose what I could do is I could put this one down, move all those pigs into this one, and just let it go to town. I mean, the most we would want is 216 pigs. This would allow us to have more than we can technically support unless we bought some more fields down the road. But it would just be one giant pig thing, which would actually would look pretty cool. And in the world of, and it would be cheaper, right? It would actually be cheaper to go one giant one than two small ones. So we'd get a little bit of money back, technically. This one's actually perfect. It's the same size. I think it's basically the same size, yeah. Except it doesn't have a fence or anything like that, which, you know, I could put a fence around it myself. But no, I think I'm going to go... I think we're going to move this equipment out of the way. We're going to move the pigs over a small bit. Hopefully that doesn't mess up too much with the hills and stuff like that. And then... I could also put the pigs, like flip them around, put them here. Is that going to mess up the hill too much? I don't know. I might need to save the game and then place this down and see what it does to the land, because it's hard to tell sometimes. And then just move the pigs over. Technically, if I put it like right here, like really right next to it, and then move the pigs over and then sell that other one, I actually would not need to, I should not need to move the manure pit. This might work. All right, let's start moving some equipment, because that's definitely first step. We're gonna get this equipment moved off to the side somewhere. We'll put this back here. Honestly, as a part of this, I might figure out where I can put me a little cup overhang or something like that. How many pigs do I have? I have 16, or sorry, 18. 18, and my little trailer can fit. I can't put all the pigs in the trailer, can I? Oh, the other thing is the food. I lose all the food. Boo. Well, just to see. We can put 13 pigs in here. I mean, I really like the idea of having the bigger one. I really don't want to lose the food. Maybe we just let it run for now until we run out of food. I don't bother filling up the food just yet. If we lose a little bit of the grain or whatever ends up being the most, probably the grain because of the percentage I see there, then it's not the end of the world. We can deal with it when that comes along. If I lose a little bit of the straw, I don't care about the straw that much. We can pull out the slurry, we can pull out the manure. Well, the manure, I can probably stay. And then we'll just let the food drain down to 0. And at that point, we may consider setting up a new one. I think that might be the path we go for. We'll see. We'll see if that works. Which does mean I can... Well, I think it can stay over there for now. We're not doing anything with it right now anyway. Other than that, we've got to... We are in July... We just harvested the canola and we just harvested the barley a month later than we would normally, but that's okay. So the next thing would be planting canola in August, which does mean we want to split off those fields properly now. Do we want to just leave 76 as one field? Because that does mean that we just connected these for no reason. The other option is to do it horizontally. Do a couple horizontal things. When does this... I think we're about to harvest the sorghum, aren't we? So it's all going to time out properly. Like we could do a couple horizontal lines, just have 3 long fields. Basically where the divider between 79 and 80 almost is, right? We divide there, we divide there. So technically those 2 lines we didn't have to join to, but these other ones would be okay. I do still want to go left or right, because going this vertical right here is a little bit annoying. So I think that might be the plan. Do a line here, have one small thin field there, another line there, small thin field there, and then we'll have a bigger one up here. This top one that's a little bit bigger could be the canola itself, and then we can do the other two, the soybeans and sunflowers down this way. I think that's the plan. All right, well then let's pay back as much of this loan as we can, because we're not going to need it just yet. Also got to figure out where we're going to put our chickens. Is the sorghum ready to harvest next month? Yeah, 4-4. So we're going to harvest next month. Cool. Let's fast forward. We know the pigs are okay. We just checked on them. So let's go and get ready to harvest the sorghum. And then we can get ready to plant and start making some variety here. I guess I didn't write down when we got to plant the other crops, though. I should have probably checked that before I fast forwarded just now. If we missed one, we'll figure it out and we'll adjust. All right, cool. Let us go get you ready to go. Turn off your lights. You don't need them right now. We'll get you started on the sorghum, which at least initially we'll be using for our chickens, our eggs, finally. It's going to be a very long time before we sell the pigs. It'll be good to have... Oh, be good to have a little bit of income coming in from the chickens. All right, sorghum's going. So, planting. Well, canola is the first thing we plant. So everything else comes up later in the year. So we don't have to worry about the fact that we missed, the sunflowers and soybeans, stuff like that. So we will be planting canola as soon as we get done with this harvest. And that's really all we got to do right now. I guess while I'm waiting for that guy to harvest, I can go ahead and put down my chicken pen, which is how much? We want the big one because, we're going to have a lot of chickens at some point. Not this big one necessarily, although I could. But we'll do this big one right here. 79,000 bucks. Get a little bit extra just so we have some for the... the chickens aren't that expensive, but we'll have a little bit of extra. All right, where do I want to put chickens? They can kind of hide off to the side somewhere. Not super critical that they are like right next to anything else. Honestly, I might just bump them up here against the water tower, out of the way by the... I'll also put them on this side, which is probably okay as well. And it's honestly at this point, at some point, we might actually we could always put another chicken coop next to it if we get, a little bit more money down the road, or we pay off a little bit and we want to sort of speed things up. We can kind of stretch a couple chicken coops out. Yeah, something like this might be fine. We got space over here. I think this is going to work. Gives us space to still drive through there to drop off our straw. I think I'm okay with that. There's not a way to transport chickens, is there? In real life there is. I just don't think there is in game. Let's see, animal transport. No, I don't think so. Just make sure. Let's go. We'll go buy some chickens then. And we can just start with, honestly, the baby chickens for now as well. Let them just grow up eventually, save us a tiny bit of money. They'll get to where they need to be. It takes 6 months to get puberty, and then 2 months to have chickens every time after that. So we can have 360 chickens. I think I'm going to buy 30 and just let them start reproducing from that point forward. So 30 chickens does not cost that much, and it won't take us that long for them to double up and then double again, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, 180 bucks is nothing. Cool. I'm okay with this. Let's go chickens. Cool. So we have chickens. They are happy. We'll start getting a few eggs along the way. Nothing too crazy until they really start getting up there. We're actually going to stop you and have you go side to side from this point. Show me side to side. All right, you're good. Let's get you to grab the trailer that I dropped over here. We'll get ready to pick up the sorghum that we're just harvesting and drop as much as we can into the chicken coop, and the rest will just go into the silo. Oh, we missed a little bit of sorghum there at the beginning. We'll come back and pick it up. All right, so we are actually planting something this month, though, right? We are planting the canola, correct? Just to remind myself, and I'm not crazy, we are planting the canola. So we can definitely get that started here momentarily. I don't think I need to plow anything, right? I might need to cultivate, though, just because it's got a different crop on there. I think I do still need to cultivate, which technically in our case is the same thing as the plow. No, wait a minute. Does our thingy... It's no previous cultivation necessary, isn't it? I know I've tried this before. I don't remember suddenly if we can just go over the crop that's there now with a new crop if there's no plowing necessary in the middle. Forgive me for forgetting how we actually need to do this. To be fair, I don't switch crops very often. Usually if I'm switching crops, it's grass. So I'm a little... I'm not sure exactly how to make sure this does what it needs to do. We're going to get on the other side, aren't we? How are you not close enough? There we go. All right, harvester's done. Let's get you to get this little corner over here. And then we will determine if our harvest or our planter is smart enough to do all of this. All right, let's get you... Grab you, get you emptied out, and then we'll get the... we'll start working on the canola. Actually, I'm going to put a cut in there. When we come back, we'll start getting the canola planted and kind of get our fields situated the way I wanted them to be. So I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye. I wanted to give a special shout out to the following channel members. Thank you so much for supporting the channel.